Okay, I'm ready.
3,
Yes.
4.
4, 7.
Here we go. I'm bald. Look at this. Bean Mafia. Your boy is looking like Vin motherfucking Diesel in this bitch. What's up, Sam?
I still don't really know who you are.
She can't look at me without literally questioning everything that we've ever been through. It's pretty interesting.
I did do this to you. I shaved your head.
Sam shaved the head, y'all. I like this shit, dog. Sam's been nonstop roasting me since she shaved my head. She literally looked at me and said,
I'm not roasting you.
This bitch said, you look like you don't have friends anymore, Deric. You look like you have family. Definitely the funniest thing you've ever said.
I'm not roasting you. I'm just saying things that I feel about when I see you. Like the other day I said, you look like you're made of Play-Doh.
Yo, she said I look like I made the best. That was pretty good. The best roast one of the best roasts I've heard so far was a nigga said I look like an organic brown egg.
You do look like an organic brown egg.
Wow.
Props to that guy.
Yo, that nigga said an organic egg.
I'm excited about how many people online have recognized how much you look like Franklin the turtle.
Yo, if I get one more motherfucking message about how I look like Franklin the goddamn turtle, I'm gonna bust.
It makes me happy because I've been telling you that for years,
yeah.
And now it's all like affirmed.
Yep. If I'm not in, bro, if they make a live action Franklin the Turtle movie,
and you're not cast,
then Hollywood's bullshit.
You're perfect.
Hollywood's complete bullshit if I don't get cast, bro. I was born to be Franklin.
You were born to play.
Look at me. But I'm fucking with it, bro. This is my new vibe, bro. I'm coming into 2021, nigga. New vibe, Deric. You gonna shave your hair too, baby?
I'm thinking about it.
You should shave your hair.
Then we
with
could
me.
be twins.
Yeah, that'd be fine as hell.
How would you feel if I was the better bald person, though?
You think you got a better head than me?
Yeah.
Touch that. That's pretty good.
But
that's pretty smooth right there, player.
I think the shape of my head would surpass your shape.
You wouldn't have an egg head. You'd have a little goddamn Lego head. That's what you have.
What do you mean a Lego head?
You got a little head that goes like this. It pops on like that. That's what your head look like.
I have like a little socket.
Yeah, you know, the little socket if you want to put a hat on. I'm glad you fuck with mine though, baby. You did a really good job shaving it. I'm not gonna front.
It was quite the ordeal.
Was it?
Well, we had to cut it all off.
You broke your toe in the middle of it.
I did. I
hurt yourself.
I stubbed my toe. We were doing it in my parents' basement on the concrete floor. There was some kind of piece of furniture. I don't really know what it was. I stubbed my toe on it and it just started bleeding. Didn't realize it.
Yo, this hurt because I'm so nervous because she's got fucking like clippers and razor and shit, and she shaved my head and then she just goes, "Oh shit, there's blood everywhere," and I'm like. That's what she said. She's, "Oh shit, there's blood everywhere," and I'm like, "Oh," I immediately like go, "Oh no, what the fuck did this bitch do?" And then I look down and her toe is off.
My toe is bleeding. I thought, and you know what? I didn't know that. I felt it stub, and I was like, "Ow!" And I didn't think it was bleeding. I was stepping in the blood, and I'm like, "Why is it sticky down here? Why is this floor sticky?"
Yo, that bitch was that shit like it was a rated R movie. How bad she was bleeding.
It was a lot of blood.
But we got through it, man, and now we're back up. Your boy's bald. We're in Maine. I wish you guys could see what we're seeing, bro. It's beautiful, just white snow behind us.
It's stunning.
So we'll do an episode where you guys can see it. But man, this shit is fire, nigga. But yeah, we're out of the motherfucking basement. We're into the motherfucking cabin in the woods, nigga. Mm-hmm. Like on our Johnny Depp shit. You know?
Oh, jeez.
You ever seen that movie?
Is that the one? It's like something a window or?
Yeah. And he's a writer.
Yeah. What was that called?
Yo, a teacher made us watch that in school.
I saw it in the
fuck
theater.
Was she on?
My childhood
Secret Window.
friend. Secret Window, that's what it's called. Yes.
It's like a horror movie, though.
Yeah, it was upsetting.
It's really upsetting.
My best friend growing up, Kelly Holbrook, if you're listening, this is about you. She was obsessed with Johnny Depp, and we went to see all the Johnny Depp movies that came out.
I get that. I mean, the dude's still in his run.
He really is. He's killing it.
Oh shit! Samantha's brother just came home from teaching.
My brother's coming home.
Yo, the view we have is fucking insane, man. We really got to do one turned around the other day so they can see what we see.
We could do it in the other room and have it looking out the big window.
Yeah, we should. Maine is fucking dope. We built a snowman yesterday, nigga. Snowball fight.
He's so cute.
He looks just like Olaf.
He looks like Olaf or one of my brothers.
You mean Matthew?
Yeah, I named him Matthew. I named him after my stepbrother.
Yeah, he looks just like your brother.
We miss very much.
God, I miss that guy, dude. I just want to talk about the DeLorean and the Flash all day. But nope, motherfuckers want to hear about my taxes and shit. Not as exciting, let me tell you, growing up. But it's good being here, man. I kind of think I'm very thankful your uncle's letting us fucking chill up here while
really
we
nice.
wait for California to open up. But we might not wait much longer. We might we're just gonna go to Arizona, I think.
Yeah, start a new life.
Start a new life in AZ, man, and just do comedy out there, because waiting for California is just like a fucking, at this point, well, how long is a motherfucker supposed to wait? Or it's like we can go back just for outside shows, but it's like, or we can go to a place where like you can get up a bunch, you know?
Oh, yeah, and there's like work there and a whole world that's open.
Yeah, motherfucking, yeah, Sam get a job maybe in one of the comedy clubs and closer to airports for touring and things like that, so we'll see what's up, Bean Mafia. But for right now, we're chilling in Maine, though, bro. We're back to our peaceful, meditative shit. That's the vibe we on. And speaking of vibes, and speaking of the best vibes, and speaking of podcasting and new studios, guys, we have an ad.
We do have an ad.
The great Mr. Darren Bates. DarenBates. That's how you spell it. That's how it fucking goes down. Darren Bates. Her brother's so cute.
I can see him walking
on Instagram. At WestonSon_56. A beautiful picture of his mother. So when you see that, that's him. And all he wants you to do is what, Sam?
He just wants you to follow him. He wants you to listen to his podcast, The Raw Room.
Yep, The Raw Room. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, literally anywhere you're listening to this podcast. You can listen to our boys' podcast. And tell them what?
Tell him the Bean sent you.
Tell him the motherfucking Bean sent you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Show our boy some fucking love. He pays the bills. That's all. And he doesn't ask of you much. Just to show him some fucking love, dog. What's up, Nick? Her brother. Come on, Nick. You want to peek? This is her brother.
Look at this guy. Isn't he handsome?
Look, get in the camera, Nick, so they
come
can
sit
see your
next to me
face.
so they can see what you look like real quick. Look at my brother.
How you doing? Yo.
Yo, that's her brother, Nick.
He's
he
a
just got off
teacher.
work, bro. This nigga's a working man. Who'd you teach today? Kindergartners?
First graders.
My nigga had first graders
graders.
today. That's fucking lit, dog. He was showing them all how to floss. That's what he said. He said half his curriculum's floss. The other half, he shows them Shawshank Redemption.
Like literally flossing your teeth, or like, isn't there a dance?
Both.
The floss dance?
No,
The floss
you learn how to
dance.
floss dance while you floss, which they should incorporate if you're going to teach kids to floss.
Oh,
Should be a
yeah.
fun video of kids flossing.
I don't know why they don't do that together. They
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
do. Some dentist must have taken that.
And all that being said, to go follow Darren Bates and
Follow
show that
Darren
nigga
Bates.
some love, bro. He fucking shows our podcast love, and you now will show him love. Samantha, we kind of on a little limited time schedule today. We got some shit to do. So let's jump right into it, man.
Okay,
Let's
let's
not
get
waste
into
any
it.
time today.
Let's not waste.
This movie is about non-wasted time. That's what I'd say. The movie I chose for you today that you've never seen, because that's the format of the podcast. Get on board. Samantha, what happens in World War Z?
Okay. World War Z.
World War Z, not Y.
Now, this isn't the movie with Tom Cruise in it.
I'm not telling you anything.
Because I saw the movie with Tom Cruise where there's like robots living under the ground and then they come up out of the ground. Mm-hmm. That's not this movie.
I don't know.
Okay, because I saw that movie.
Okay.
And if you're about to tell that movie, I've seen that movie.
Well, tell me what you think happens.
Geez. Okay, so if it's not that movie, in my mind they're like the same movie because they came out around the same time.
Dude, your soccer mom vest is awesome.
Thank you.
I can't stop looking at your vest. You look like you're literally about to drop the kids off at soccer practice and make the craziest target run of all time.
I mean, sometimes you got to make a crazy target run.
And just get
And you're so
everything.
busy. Yeah, everything on the list.
And you still cut orange slices for halftime of the
Of course, I'm a great mom. You think I'm skimping on the orange slices?
game. No, never you. Never that.
And also, it's not just orange slices. It'll be like orange slices and celery. Because,
Yeah.
you know, both
And you'd be like,
fruit
I think the
groups.
kids need greens. And everybody's like, whose wife is this? And like all the coaches.
Yeah. That would be the coach's way. You'd be the coach.
I know.
That's fun.
I would live that life. I see it coming for us.
That'd be fun one day.
What happens in World War Z? You're stalling, talking of your
You
future.
know, okay, so Z, I'm gonna assume has to do with zombies. And it's not the Tom Cruise movie where the robots come out of the ground, which I can't for the life of me remember what that one's called. But big leading man, probably like a Liam Neeson type guy.
Okay.
He's like zombies have come, like, and they're taking over and they're eating people. And
Assholes.
some people have risen up maybe to fight back against the zombies. So there's like a group of people that have like kind of sealed off an area, and then they're safe within their fortress, but they go out and they kill zombies. And then one of the leaders is like, I can't live like this anymore. We have to start World War C.
Then what happened?
And so he bans all of the groups, all the tribes of living people that have all their little fortresses.
Who are the tribes?
Yeah, they've become tribes now. Because
I like that. How we're supposed to live.
How we're supposed to live. Because there's no technology anymore. It's all been wiped out. The grid's done. It's all, like these little fortresses of, people who've come together to keep themselves safe from zombies. So he rides from zombie, refuge to zombie refuge. Well, not zombie refuge, but, refuge from zombies.
Okay.
Bringing all these clans of non-zombie people together. And we rise up and we form a giant army and a strategic plan because it's zombies. They don't have strategy.
They never strategize.
Other
than, no, that's not true. I Am Legend, they strategize.
They did.
They fucking got Will Smith.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, these zombies, I'm not going to have them strategize. This has to be a short explanation.
No political strategies
No
amongst
political
these zombies.
strategy. So they all rise up. They join together. And a
rocking
lot of
chair is
people
fire.
die. Yeah, I know. That's a really nice rocker.
This rocking chair is crazy. You said a lot of people die?
A lot of people die.
Like millions?
Millions of people die across the world trying to fight back against these zombies. But maybe one scientist in one of the clans is able to put together some kind of nuclear weapon. And they kill a large amount of them. And they're able to triumph.
With a nuclear weapon?
Yeah, because maybe all the zombies are drawn to a specific part of the world. Like maybe they all like to be near the equator or something. Because
There's some scientific reason.
There's some scientific reason that they're drawn to a specific part of the world, which is also kind of annoying for us because, like, hey, the equator, that's where the sun is. That's where we could grow the most shit.
But if we had to nuke that'd be bad.
So we nuke all the zombies. There's still some alive, but now we have, like, a police force that only kills zombies.
Does our lead survive?
Our lead survives, but only till the very end. Then he dies, and he tells his son, he's like, this war is not over. Only you can stop the madness. And then he dies. And then the son, who's like probably like 7 or some ridiculously young age, like grabs his dad's gun and like walks off into the sunset.
But this war is not over. So you're saying there's more to
No,
this.
like they've made a big, this is the most of the battle, but it's like it'll never be over until all the zombies are exterminated. So he goes off walking into the sunset knowing like it's his life mission to exterminate all the rest of the zombies.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
That was really long. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just taking it all in. I liked it. Again, as you've done so far, 0% are correct.
Okay, no Liam?
No Liam. Nothing that you said happened.
I didn't think Liam would be in a zombie movie anyway.
You really made it. I mean, you really took the word war, and you really emphasized that in your movie.
Well, the thing is,
you were like, no, this is a war against zombies. This is a
you only give me so much
war.
to go off of. I don't have any information.
Well, I know I'm not mad at you. First off, I'm not mad. You know, you've been wrong before, and yet you take it personal every time.
I do.
That you're always wrong.
Well, also, you won't even tell me if this is the Tom Cruise movie with the giant robots coming out of the ground. But that's an alien movie. I think that's a different movie.
I like your nails, too. Sam looks good today.
Thank you.
As
I'm
wrong
a
as she
full
was.
mom.
Yeah. She went full mom on us today. She went full mom mode. Mm-hmm. But again, nigga, you were really, really, really wrong about this movie. You want to hear it, though?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
It's pretty exciting. Nonstop. The movie is a nonstop adrenaline rush.
Jeez.
So it's a 2-hour movie, but you don't notice.
Okay.
Goes by in an hour. You ready?
I'm ready.
Credits roll. We see shots of the ocean, the sun, cities, birds, right? And we hear like all the morning news kick on at once, like good morning, Philadelphia, good morning, New Jersey, good morning, like that, We hear all the morning radio and shit, and we see people getting up, getting all their day subways, getting to work, just shots of cities as the credits is rolling. We hear people talking about viruses on the news.
Like how we're talking.
Like how we're talking. It was really weird watching this. Talking about viruses, talking about the polar caps melting. People talking about like how it's weird that all these dolphins have been like washing up on shore. lately. We see people in mass going to and from places. People arguing about the virus on the news and like confirmed cases, not confirmed cases.
What the?
Yeah, right?
When was this movie made?
2015. All right.
Okay.
And then you hear somebody go, "We don't know if it's spreading. We just don't know." World War Z.
Dun dun dun.
All right. We see a cute little house. And these two little girls, you see these two little girls come sneak into a room and they run and they jump on our lead. Possibly the sexiest man of all time. Probably, I mean, he's in the top 3.
Brad Pitt?
Come on, girl.
Oh,
You
sweet.
know what it is. Who's one? I mean, there's only a couple people that when you go sexiest man of all time and it's like, no, you got to include this guy.
It's also Deric specifically. Like,
But I would
if
say
you
the
asked
world.
him who he wanted to, if he could be with any man in the world, you would say Brad Pitt.
I don't know if I'd say, I mean, no, there's some other dude, because Leo, you acting like I wouldn't say Leo too.
Yeah, but I know you.
Leo's a playboy. I do like a married man. I like a man who's a little more sturdy, a little more stable in his life.
A little more woodsy.
Yeah, Brad's a little more woodsy. He's a little more like just a family man.
Yeah.
Leo doesn't have no kids.
Yeah, Leo's a free
Leo's
man.
not going to care about my feelings.
He might for a
He
day.
might for a time period, exactly, but I don't want that.
You want
I
commitment.
want a commitment. I want a
Yeah.
guy who we can sit and watch a movie, watch some Netflix sometimes.
It's so funny because we act like Brad Pitt is like such a player because he goes from Jennifer Aniston.
But he's
to
a relationship
Angelina.
guy.
He is also. Those are the only real relationships we know about him having.
Yeah.
Like before Janan.
Well, he apparently hooked up with a lot of different actors, but even still, they were like he had girlfriends.
Yeah.
Before he got even with Janan.
But
He had
those are
girlfriends.
long. The Janan relationship.
He got married.
Yeah, it's a long. They were married.
Yeah.
I thought they were just.
Oh, well, they might as well have
together.
been married. They were together a long
They were
fucking
together
time.
for a while, and then he goes from her to Angelina Jolie, and they're still together. And that's
With
like
kids and adopted kids.
that's a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this man, he's if anything, he's what do they call that? A serial monogamist?
I think so.
Yeah.
Whereas Leo's like, he would just use me and
He's
wash
a
me away with
playboy.
feelings. So they jump on our lead. They're like, and he's like, they're all laughing and having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
They go down, they eat breakfast. One of the girls, it's her birthday coming up like in the next couple days, and they're talking about that, what they're going to do. On the news is more shit about the virus, and the government just declared martial law.
Whoa.
So they're that far. All right. And the little girl's like, "Dad, what's martial law?" And he's like, "Well, it's like house rules for everybody." And his daughter's like, "Okay." And the wife's not a bad way to put that.
Yeah, that's cute.
And she's like, "Daddy," and they're talking about how they like need soldiers for this, that, and all the shit on the news. And she's like, "Daddy, is that like your old job?" And he's like, "Kinda. Yeah, it's kind of like my old job." And she's like, "Do you miss it?" And he's like, "No, I like being with you guys more." Okay. So they cut to, you find out they're in Philadelphia. That's where they live.
Mm-hmm.
They're all driving. They're taking the kids to school.
Okay.
As they're driving, the car, they're playing 21 Questions on their way. Right? So they're just kind of laughing, playing 21 Questions. And Brad's being such a goofy, cute dad. Like, you already fall in love with him because, like, oh, wow, he's such a charming guy.
Yeah.
Even when he's just playing, like, this kind of, like, goofy, silly dad, you're like, oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you see helicopters flying over. And the wife's like, damn, that's the 4th helicopter we've seen today. Like, what the fuck is going on, right? They're stuck in traffic. They're not moving.
Uh-huh.
On the radio, you hear talks of, like, a lot of people coming down with rabies, like, way more than normal. And then as that happens, a car drives and smashes and knocks their side rear view mirror off.
And so it's not T-boning them.
No, their side rear view
Okay,
mirror. So
good.
like, a car goes by too close.
Yeah, I see what
and
you're
knocks
saying.
their mirror off. And he's like, yo, what the fuck, man? And Brad opens the door and he's like, ah. And he's looking around and he kind of sees like people are kind of like loud and it's just cars knocking and people are kind of running around like a little bit. And he looks over at the guy and he's like, man, what's going on? And the guy's like, I don't know. Like, this shit's crazy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then right then, like down the street, a big explosion happens. And then he looks at it. He's like, what? And he gets in his car and his wife's like, honey. And he's like, what? And then a cop comes up and he's like, stay in your vehicle, sir. Stay in your, boom. He gets hit by a semi-truck.
Whoa.
So now this semi-truck is smashing through all the traffic.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, honey, what are you doing? He's like, this is our ticket out of here. And Brad Pitt fucking gets out of the traffic and gets behind the truck that's just smashing through everything. And now he's just right behind it.
Yeah.
And he's just following it. The daughters are screaming. He's fucking going full speed. He turns, one of the daughter unbuckles her seatbelts and just like is in full panic mode screaming under the seat.
Oh, wow.
Like this,
She
right?
should really stay in her seatbelt.
Definitely. This is a seatbelt situation.
This is a seatbelt situation.
They're driving. The truck smashes in front of them. Brad turns and notices the girl's not in her seat. Honey, put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt. Bam! They get T-boned by an ambulance.
Ooh.
They kind of come to, right? Everyone, they look around. Everyone's running around outside. It's like full just running. The whole city's just running, right? The daughter is like stuck on the side of the car, so they both get him out. The people, it's pure chaos. They're kind of just looking around like, what the fuck? And then you see it. You don't see them yet, but you see motherfuckers tackling each other. Like, bam, bam, bam. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then you see Brad's kind of looking. He's holding his hand. He's kind of looking. It's all kind of slow motion, right? And he sees one guy. Like he sees this guy, right? And the guy like hides in his car. And then you see something running full speed at the car. Bam! Bust through the front windshield.
A person?
Yeah.
Jeez, okay.
And then tackle the guy and start biting him. And he gets up and starts running off. Okay? While that happens, you hear in Brad's head as he's watching this, you hear a little voice come on, like a little kid, and it goes, "Hi, everybody. Come aboard the number 12 train. 1, 2, 3." And Brad's watching, and the guy who got bit is turning like 4, 5, 6, and Brad's counting 7. He's just like, you see him like mouthing his with 8, 9, and then 11, 12, and then the fucking guy who got bit jumps up and starts. Now he's sprinting.
So is the voice it's supposed
Brad's
to be
head.
in Brad's head?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's just counting the seconds, but it's coming off in this creepy like little kid. Like that's what
Yeah.
you hear. And then when the guy gets up and starts running, you hear all aboard the train. Train's in the station. And then Brad's like, because you just see, and then it keeps happening. Somebody gets bit, turn. Somebody gets bit, and it's like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, it wouldn't take long to turn a whole city.
No.
If 12 seconds is the turn rate.
Yeah.
So now, and also these things can fucking move. They're fast.
Yeah.
All right. So the family hops in an RV. The guy tries to break in. They knock him out. They fucking smash the, like hit the brakes. Fucking Brad Pitt's running over motherfuckers. They drive out. They somehow get out of the city. And then the camera pans back and you see just full chaos in Philadelphia. And the city's been overtaken.
Okay.
All right. You hear it like on military channels. Containment in Philadelphia is a failure. Containment is a failure.
Wow. So they say it like but they already knew that there was some kind of virus happening.
Mm-hmm. But it turns so fast. The 12 seconds is like
so
the
was
spread is
in
insane.
the same day that they're finding out about the virus this is happening. It's not like they've been like us, like sitting around with the virus happening and now it's turning into zombies.
We'll get more into it, but it's like what we went through, but just in a smaller ratio of time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. So according to this ratio, we'll all start being zombies in our reality, like
in a couple years.
In a couple days. Oh, in years.
In our reality?
Yeah.
If this was a real virus like the flu, the one that we got going on, COVID? No, because the turn ratio is so slow.
Yeah.
You know? The 12 seconds, you can't stop it.
12 seconds, you can't stop that. That's too fast.
It's too fast. So
right.
They're driving down the country road. The daughter who was super scared is now hyperventilating. The mom left the inhaler and medicine in the other car when they had to get out. All right. So Brad pulls over and he's trying to get her to breathe and calm down and relax and shit. And then as one of the daughters like, "What were those things? What were those things, Papa?" Right then Brad Pitt gets a call. And it's from this like black African dude, right? You recognize the actor. Not a famous actor, but you recognize him. The wife too, you recognize.
Okay.
Not famous, but you recognize her. And they're like, "Jerry," that's Brad Pitt's name. "Jerry, we've been looking for you. What the hell is this?" And then Brad, like, "We don't know." And they're like, "Have you gotten close to it?" And he's like, "I was face to face." And then right then the daughter's like, "Daddy, look." And in the RV, she holds up like a sniper rifle. And he's like, "Thank you, honey." He takes it from her. And then he said, "Hey, we need you, Jerry. We need you to come back. We'll send a chopper to you. Can you get like, where are you?" And he tells him where he's like, "I don't know where I'm somewhere outside of Philadelphia. I can head to an extraction point though, somewhere to meet you." And he's like, "I need you, Jerry. I need you back. We need you back on the team." Because remember he said he retired from a job?
Yeah.
So we're finding out what he does. And then so they go, right? They're like, "All right." Jerry's like, "Fuck, I'll meet you somewhere." Cut to, they go to a grocery store. Everyone's running in and out. It's pure chaos in the grocery store. But they're like, "Yo, we need supplies. We have nothing in this RV. No food, no water, no nothing." So they go in. They're like, "All right, stay together, the whole family." The wife, they're like, "Hey, you're on food. I'm on medicine." They split up. Bro, to me, that's the most adrenaline rush just because of the split up.
Yeah, how do we find each other again?
But at the same time, it's like, yo, we don't have enough time to go all around together with holding the kids.
Yeah.
Trying to get food and water and medicine. So Brad Pitt goes to the medicine thing. You see the wife stocking up. When he goes to the medicine thing, he starts looking through like the pharmacy for what he needs. And then a motherfucker walks up on him with a gun. And Brad's like this. And the girl's all scared. And she's trying to breathe. And the guy looks at the little girl and he goes, he works at the pharmacy. He's like, "What do you need?" He was just trying to like save some so people don't
protect himself probably too, because they're ransacking the whole place.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he tells him, he's like, yo, I need this for asthma. And the guy grabs him some stuff and he goes, my kid has asthma too. And he gives him some extra. And then he's like, thank you. Right then, Brad hears a little girl, his other daughter screaming, Daddy!
No.
Daddy! He's like, honey. He grabs his daughter. He takes off. He finds his daughter like in a cart, like being put, like the wife clearly pushed the cart as far away from her. The wife is getting robbed.
Whoa.
Like motherfucker's trying to get all her shit.
Yeah.
And so Jerry runs up like, hey, hey. And then the guy pulls out a gun and tries to shoot him. Jerry has to, like, falls, pulls out that rifle, bam, headshot.
Nice.
And he's just like, but like, it feels real. It's like not like no action hero, more just like, oh,
just
God.
like, this is the moment.
Yeah, this is life or death. And oh my God, I can't believe I had to do that. So they all hug up each other. They grab everything. They run outside. RV's gone.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Why would you leave the keys inside?
They probably didn't. Someone probably hotwired it.
Or that. Good point.
I mean, if it's
that
chaos,
situation. Yeah,
anything's
pure
also
chaos.
if I'm trying to escape this too, I see an RV and I'm like, oh, this is better than my Kia.
Yeah. You know,
I can live out of this.
I can live out of the RV.
Yeah.
I can make moves out the RV. Another thing that was dope, so when he killed the guy, right then a cop starts running at him.
Yeah.
And Jerry drops his rifle and puts his hands up. And he's like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, like, and the cop just keeps running by him like.
I don't give a.
He starts stocking up for his shit. He's like, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I'm not. You think I can do law with all of this?
Like, what?
I'm done.
I'm here for the bologna and water, dude. So when they sprint out, they're like, what do we do? What do we do? We got to get off the street. And then the wife goes, Jerry, apartments. And like right nearby is this huge apartment building. Right? And so they start running towards that shit. He calls the black dude and tells him like, yo, I'm outside of Newark stranded by this grocery store. I'm headed to this apartment building. Can you get to us? And the guy's like, I can, but not till sunrise.
What?
Right? He's like, that's the next time I'll have a chopper available.
Okay.
Right? And the guy's like, all right. He's like, Jerry, you know I'll do anything to get you here, so just stay alive. We're going to send for you in the morning. He's like, all right. He said, we'll be on. Jerry's like, yo, we got flares. We'll be on the roof with flares.
Okay.
So they take off. They running. It's nighttime now. Right? You see zombies crashing everywhere. They like, and you see like them like running towards them. Like they have to kill one. He shoots another. And they get to the apartments finally. And they run by an old guy who's just drinking, like a homeless guy, and he's just drinking casually. Like, doesn't even notice what's going on.
Yeah.
So they run in. He ties the door shut. They run upstairs. It's completely black. Only thing you see is the red flare light.
Oh, my God.
All right? Finally, right then, zombies bust through downstairs. They see, and they start running up the stairs. They running up. You see zombies coming up behind them. Like that, right? They're just, and they're like, Daddy! And he's holding them. They're sprinting. Finally, he gets to the top. He, like, pushes down like a vending machine. And it like kills a couple. He keeps going. They get to the top. They don't know where to go, right? Because it's locked, right? And then they're like, Connie. And they look for one of their daughters is missing. Connie!
No!
And the daughter's like, you hear the daughter screaming, let me in. Let us in, please. So they finally run up to her. And the daughter's just outside a door, like a certain door. She's begging, look, come on. Let me in. I know you're in there. Let me in. Finally, the door opens up. It's a Mexican family, right?
Their daughter's not there?
Huh?
The daughter's not there? It's just the Mexican family?
No, like, so remember how I said they get to a spot and they can't find their daughter, Brad Pitt. She's at a random door going, let me in.
She's trying to get into someone else's house.
She must have saw somebody looking or something.
Yeah.
And then when Brad Pitt runs and they grab her, the guy opens the door. And it's a Mexican, like a family of Mexicans, you know what I mean? And they're like, fuck it, come in.
Yeah.
And they run in, they close the door, they lock it. And they barricade themselves in. They're all like, whew. And he's like, thank you. And they don't speak Spanish. All of them don't speak English except the son. It's like a little 8-year-old boy who can speak English.
Yeah.
So he's translating.
That's insane.
Crazy, right?
Okay.
And so the little boy's talking to him, saying what the dad, thank you, Senor. Would you like a beer? He offers Brad a beer, and Brad's like, thank you. He drinks some. He cuts on the news, and you find out that they're encouraging everyone to completely lock themselves indoors. If you can, stock yourself for food for maybe weeks, maybe months, until we can get this thing figured out. This is on the news, and it'd be like, nigga, you hear that, Sam? How much are you like, oh, we're never having a regular world again?
Oh, no. Because it's like, if they can't figure out how to stop a virus that just makes people have the flu/cold.
One that turns you into a man-eating zombie in 12 seconds.
I don't know how they're like, oh, just barricade yourself for a couple of weeks. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, hopefully you already stocked up on groceries.
Oh, my God.
Hopefully you planned ahead. So right then, Brad hears this, and he's like, fuck. Cut to he falls asleep. You see him wake up to like the sound of zombies, and he looks around and his daughter's not there. And he starts, the music gets intense. He's looking for his kids, and he opens up a closet, and all the kids are inside. Like his two girls and his kid, and they're all like kind of asleep. And then the kid wakes up, and he was like, they were scared. Like, he was like, they were scared, so I thought I'd hang out with, like, be with them. And then Brad Pitt's like, thank you, Tommy. he kind of, they high five, right? So Brad is telling the kid to tell his dad, like, hey, so I had a previous job that got people out of situations like this. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like this, and he tells his dad, and he's like, if you come with me, you do what I say when I say. Every single move I make is life or death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if your family comes with me, but I want you guys to come, you have to do everything I say. And the guy and the Mexican guy thinks about it, and he goes, no, I think we're safer here.
Okay.
And Brad encourages him like, yo, I think we should go. And even the little kid's like, Dad, I think we should go. And Dad's like, no, we're going to stay.
I understand, because you're sort of like, well, if we stay here, we can just barricade ourselves till
help comes. Or
you go for help and maybe die. There's you're risking things on either side.
Also, you don't know this guy, and you don't know if like there's going to be a helicopter on the roof and like all these things he's promising.
Also, he's saying I have to do what you say when I say it. It's like, but you have to translate. My son has to translate the whole time. So you're saying we have to hope that at every moment we're out there, my son is alive.
Yes, and he's like mentally prepared to handle the duty he now has.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's a big ass for the kid.
Yeah.
So you see Brad Pitt, he tapes up like phone books around his arms and like shins
to prevent against bites.
if he has to use
smart.
close to close.
That's
really
really
smart. If combat, which is smart. Like, all right, if I get close, I can at least kind of defend myself.
Smart idea.
So his family, they get the gun. The Mexican family says bye. They let him outside. He goes. All right. They light a flare. They're going down the hallway now. The Mexican family is inside arguing whether they should have gone or not in Spanish. Right then, poof, poof, something starts banging on their door, and they all look at each other like, oh, shit. Okay. Cut back to we see Brad and the family going up the stairwell, and the girl's like, Daddy, I'm so scared. I can't. He's like, honey, you got to be quiet. Ninja quiet, right? Can you be a ninja for me? It just also it's like, wow, the dad, you have to like, all right, how do I make this a game?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. So he goes, and the wife goes, what if the chopper's not on the roof, Jerry? He goes, it's going to be on the roof. She goes, and she's like, but he's like, also, like, I get him being like, hey, what? Either it's all we got. If we get there and it's not on the roof, we'll go then. We'll go from there. But we have to live as if it'll be on the roof. And he's like, all right, come on. And then right then, they're making their way up, and then they finally see a zombie and starts running at him. Bam, he has to shoot it. You hear all the other zombies start running at him. He's like, let's go, girls. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Bam, he shoots another. Bam, he shoots another. They're running up. They're going up. Bam, he shoots another. They're running up, running up. He dodges one. Jerry! Bam, he shoots another. He has to go, he has to, block them off to stop so the girls can all get out. Yeah. He's like, just go, go, go. And he's fighting off, right? Right there, the chopper, they cut back to the chopper circling up above the apartment. And they're like, we don't see anybody.
No!
Because nobody's out. I know, we don't see anybody. We'll keep circling, but no contact, sir. They keep running. Finally, the family go outside, and then we see the family, we see the family. We see the family running like this, and they're running towards it. Jerry's holding them off, right? He finally kills one. He gets up, and another one tackles him. And he's holding it off like this, and it's like just spitting blood all in his face.
Oh, gross.
And Jerry's like, ah! Right then, bam! Somebody shoots it in the head. He looks up. It's the little Tommy kid. He made it out.
What?
He got a little backpack and a gun.
He's going with them?
He left his family.
Yo, who is this kid?
Yo, I feel that. Because remember I said the kid was like, yo, I think we need to dip.
Whoa. Okay. So he just left his family. He's 8 years old.
Yep. He knew though.
Yeah. Also, maybe the parents were like, you can speak English. You'll know what he's saying.
Go.
So that
we'll hold We'll hold these zombies off. You go.
Oh, my gosh. That's so horrifying. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
And so, of course, Brad Pitt looks at the little kid like, good job. Like, you know what I mean? And so, right then, Jerry, he runs out with Tommy, right? Because you got me. So he grabs Tommy and they run outside. He throws Tommy down to the ground towards this family. And she's like, honey, what are you doing? And he runs to the edge. And he goes, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then everything goes slow-mo and he looks around. And he doesn't change. Because remember, the zombie was spilling blood all on him.
Oh, because he was afraid just the
he didn't know.
Contact.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he stops and he's like crying. Brad Pitt can act, by the way, because he stops and he turns, he's crying. And the wife's like, honey, because she kind of just like, what were you about to do? And he goes, it got in my mouth. Like you see, like him, like I was like, this, because you're like, damn, he was ready to kill himself. He had to mentally get to that place of like,
I can't let my family die. Because
Not like the chopper's right there.
Yeah, not when they're so close.
So he turns around. Right then, the door's open. He runs back to the door and holds it closed as zombies are trying to get through. The family's getting all on the chopper. There's no way to lock the door. So he's holding the door. The soldiers hop out the chopper and they go, "Just go!" And he's like, "Yeah!" He lets it go. He starts running. Them things start. And they're right behind him. Motherfuckers chopper. The dudes are shooting. Pow, 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 pow. He jumps on them motherfucking chopper. The soldiers get in. They peel off as all the zombies come jumping off and missing in the chopper. Like jumping to their death. Chopper flies off.
And this is just how it starts.
This is how it starts.
Because
I told you there's
getting
been
to the chopper would be like the end goal and that's how it would end. But no, there's still so much more.
Oh, that was the big Sam. That was not even close to what we're going through. That's why it never stops. Okay. 2-hour movie, it never stops. So they're on the chopper. The girls are hugging each other, crying. Tommy's crying. The parents are just staring at each other like well, we did that.
Yeah.
They get to a big Navy ship out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The black dude, he's the general of the United Nations. That's who that was.
Okay.
That's who was calling him.
Wow.
That's who Brad Pitt used to work for. All right?
For the United Nations.
He was a private eye spy for the United Nations. So he's like a super soldier, pretty much.
So he is like Liam Neeson.
He is Liam Neeson. Don't take one of this dude's daughters. It'll be a whole other World War. B for Brad. So they take him to all their bed bunk quarters, right? And then him and the guy's name is Terry. So he's Jerry, and the African dude's name's Terry.
Okay, that's not confusing,
right? Why would any name?
Could have easily named them any other name.
Could have named him fucking Bob, dude.
Could have called him Brad.
Yeah,
made it easy on all of us.
Could have been Brad Pitt. Jerry and Terry, huh? So they go talk. Apparently, the president's dead. 4 of the 6 joint chiefs are dead. The vice president's missing. Both parties are in a panic. Nobody knows what to do. All the biggest cities in the world are completely done because the biggest cities got hit first.
Yeah, they would get hit hardest.
And you see on the ship, he takes them to the control room. Everybody's there trying to figure it out. You see scientists, you see Navy generals, everybody, right? Apparently, it's already spread to all corners of the globe. There's not anywhere where it hasn't gotten already.
Wow.
You see a young brown scientist talk like a virologist from Harvard, apparently one of the smartest people in this field in the world, who's doing all the talking and telling everybody how this is apparently like the Spanish flu as far as how fast this is spreading, but it's much more deadly, obviously. And they tell Brad how, yo, that guy is our best way out of here, and that's why we want you here. Brad's job was to get people in and out without being noticed that the United Nations need. So whether he needed to get somebody in or he needed to extract that's what he was.
That's his.
So that's what they need him. They need him to get this scientist guy
Yeah.
to where the origin of the disease was to get him in so he can get samples and get him out.
The origin. So they've pinpointed an origin.
They pinpoint. Here we go. So right then you see back to the table and everyone's arguing how they're calling them zombies, right? And they're sending the doctor out to find the source of this, and they're like, "Well, how'd you know?" And then right then, as they're arguing, the colonel of the ship, the whole general of the whole operation of the whole ship, the admiral, he comes up and he starts talking to Brad about why he's here and how we need you to get this fucking doctor in and out of the spot, and how I heard you were this badass from the general of the nation, so we want you to go in with a team of our best handful of our best SEALs, and you'll lead the mission. And Brad's like, "Hell no, I can't leave my family. I don't think so." And the colonel's like, "Look, Mr. Wayne, look around, Mr. Lane. I don't know what anybody told you, but everyone on this ship serves a purpose. If you and your family want to stay on the ship, essential people only."
Yeah.
Which I'm not mad at the general. The general's like, "Hey, dude,
we're not just keeping you safe for no reason.
You think we just called you? What? Why would we just call you? And we spent all that money and risked our men to go get you.
Yeah. Essential businesses only.
Essential businesses only, dog." He's like, "Yo, you have to help us. You want to help your family? You help us figure out how to fight this. If not, I'll let you guys off at the next stop. We don't have time."
So you said it's a ship?
They're on a Navy ship.
On a Navy ship.
Like a with planes on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes and he tells his wife. His wife goes off. "Hell no, we're not doing this. Blah blah blah."
Where does she think they're gonna go? It's all over the world.
Right? Oh, also, I'm sorry. When they were finding out where he's gonna go, they're going to North Korea because they got a newsletter from North Korea, like a memo before everything went down, of somebody saying how there's a zombie apocalypse happening right now in North Korea or in South Korea, wherever it was. So that's
They
and that's
always
the first
blame it
on Korea.
No, it wasn't on Korea. It was on China.
But it's Asia.
Yeah, it's like why does it have to be over there?
It couldn't have came from motherfucking New Jersey,
Yeah, no one ever talks about how
Long Island.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, what?
that would make more sense.
If the disease started in Long Island because motherfuckers was drinking too many Monster energy drinks.
Yes.
that's a real.
That and like Four Locos.
Yeah, like somebody mixed them.
Yeah, and they're like, can't do that. That's too much energy.
Started an apocalypse, dog. So, but that's how they know where the origin is, or at least like where they think it might be.
Okay.
So the wife goes off like, "No, honey, you know what that job did to you. That's why you quit. You can't go back and do that job." And he goes, "Honey, if I don't do it, we're off the ship." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "If I don't do it, they're gonna kick you and the girls off the ship. I can't have that happen."
Yeah, also, why wouldn't she think that would happen?
Yeah, it's like, you think they're just like asking me nicely?
Yeah, they're just helping some people out and letting other people die.
And then he goes, "We're gonna get through this. We'll make the best of it." And she goes, "Like we always do." And then they kiss. Okay.
I think that's just something couples say to each other.
We say that to each other all the time.
We do.
Because what are you supposed to say? Like, we never do. We'll get through this one. Like we never got. You know what I mean?
Like, we never get through anything.
We're due one. So he tells his one daughter, "Hey, baby, I got to go back to work, but daddy will be back soon." He kisses her. He looks at the Tommy kid. He goes, "Hey, you take care of my ladies for me?" And the Tommy kid's like, because he's all sad. And he's like, "You're fucking awesome, dude." They high five. And then he looks at his other daughter. He's like, "I love you, baby." He kisses her. Him and his wife walk away. They kiss. She kisses him again. He hops on a plane. He's off. He gave his wife one of those big like phones you can call from anywhere. And he has one, and they like put each other's numbers in as like the first number, so they can just hit a button and it'll call each other. So you see him on the big plane. He's on the plane with some Navy SEALs and the doctor, the young doctor.
Yeah.
Right. And Brad tells the doctor like, "Hey, so he's like, hey, you want to survive? Like, A, we need you to survive. So you do everything the SEALs say." He said, "Even me, I'm gonna do everything they say. I don't give a fuck what they say. If they move, we move. They stop, we stop. They're not breathing, we're not breathing. Like whatever they do is what we do. Period." He goes, "They're hammered." He said, and the guy's like all nervous. He's like, "You sure we're gonna be okay?" He said, "Trust me, we follow them, we'll be fine. Those guys are hammers. Everything into life, and everything in life to them is just a nail."
Ooh.
And then the SEAL guys all laugh, and they go, "Oh, come on, right?" And then he goes, "Guys, that's a compliment." And they all go, like, nodding, like, "You're goddamn right, that's a compliment." But that is a great way to view them. I thought, like, damn, because that is how they view the world. Like, everything's a nail. How can I make it work? From like just always in that combat mode.
Well, also, it's like it's a different way of calling someone a tool,
Yes.
but without it being a negative idea.
Because it's like, because it's the way you look at the world. Not like you're just a tool. It's like, no, that's how your outlook is.
No, I'm a tool, and I'm in possession of said tool.
Yes.
Not that someone's using the tool.
I'm just in possession of this tool, and I'm helping it. Yeah. So right then the doctor looks at him. He goes, Brad Pitt says, he goes, "You think we're going to find something down there in Korea?" And the doctor laughs, and he goes, "Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we will. Mother Nature is a serial killer."
Oh, he's British?
Yeah.
Of course.
And Brad goes, "What?" And he goes, "She's a serial killer. And just like any serial killer, she can't help but getting caught. She just can't help herself. She leaves crumbs. The hardest part in school is seeing them. Sometimes the things that are most brutal in a virus are really its weaknesses. Those are the chinks in the armor." And Brad Pitt's like, and he goes, "Yeah, she loves disguising her weaknesses as strength. She's a real bitch." And Brad's like, just kind of like, all right. So on the ship, you see Brad's family watching other families like whose husbands have died getting shipped off because now they're not essential.
Whoa. I never thought about that.
So if your husband
Where are they sending you?
Back into the world, you got to there's not enough food on the ship for you.
That's true. But where? Are they just leaving you at any port? Or do you get to
Like
choose
your
where
refugee
you go?
camps.
Oh.
But you don't know,
Yeah.
and you don't know how well that camp's holding up.
Ah.
So we see Brad and the SEALs and the doctor, and it's nighttime, right? And the pilot of the plane's like, "Hey, we have to take her down," but we're in the spot, but no one's answering.
Yeah.
So we don't know what we're getting down into. All right, buckle up, boys. They land, they stop, they open the door. All the SEALs go out first, right? The doctor's got his hand on his gun, and Brad's like, "Hey, calm down. Take your finger off the trigger. And the doctor's like, takes his finger off. He's like, okay, let's move. So right then you see a zombie run up. One of the SEALs, bam, kills it. And then another SEAL gets tackled by one of the zombies.
Oof.
He's dead. Right then you see the doctor go, and he panics and he turns around to run back up onto the plane. When he does, he slips and falls because it's raining. He slips and falls, shoots himself in the head.
No!
Doctor's dead.
So what are they going to do now?
I know. Brad goes, no, and he grabs him. And then right then a bunch of other Navy SEALs come up. Like there was a team there that was waiting on him. And they go, what happened to him? And Brad's like, he killed himself. Fuck it. Let's go. Come on. Like, we got to go. We got to go. They run off. They head into the bunker, right? Brad's like, fuck. Fuck. And then Brad was like, the guy goes, who was that guy who shot himself? And Brad goes, that was our only hope, that guy who shot himself. He was our last hope. And he's fucking dead. And then the Navy SEAL guy goes, shit happens, man. And then Brad looks at him and he goes, the doctor would heavily agree with you. So right then he goes, damn. And then the Navy SEAL goes, look, well, we don't know much, but I'll tell you everything we know. All we know so far is sound draws them in. Body shots do nothing. Headshots do the trick. But we've been burning the bodies just to be safe. And then right then all the men start asking Brad, hey, how's New Jersey? How's Philly? How's Memphis? How's Texas? How's this place? And then Brad goes, guys. As far as I know, everybody's home is not doing well. It's the whole world.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck. So Brad goes, look, this is where the memo was sent, the location with the first word zombie. That's why they sent me here. And then the guy goes, it wasn't an email, it was a memo. And it was 7 days ago. And the guy goes, really? He goes, yeah, let me show you. So he takes him back to this room. It's all burnt up, right? It's like science labs, all burnt up. There's bodies all burned up in it. He goes, apparently, this guy was shackled, and we don't know what bit him. And the doctors were studying on him. And then you see the flashback to this doctor leaning in, and the guy starts twitching, and then he bites the doctor. All right, and then it spreads across the whole room. They have to burn the room down. Okay? And then and then Brad Pitt's like, damn, but what about, do they have any records on the guy? Like, do he find out where he came from, maybe? What city he came from? And then the Navy SEAL goes, those are the records. And all the records are burnt up, too.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck. And so he's looking, and you see a guy kind of walking around the fire, and he's got a little limp, one of the soldiers. And the guy with the limp asks Brad how he escaped all this. And Brad goes, how'd you tweak your leg? And the guy goes, I was born like this. I always had a little bad gimp, right? And then right then, one of the captain of all that crew goes, this lucky bastard, he was here when it all went down. All these fucking zombies swarming around. This motherfucker doesn't get bit. Everybody else does. And the guy's like, I don't know. And Brad's like, huh. So, cut two. They're walking through like the jail section of this little bunker they're in. And they have a guy in the jail. You remember Brutus from Green Mile? The guy who played Brutus?
Which one was Brutus?
Brutus was Tom Hanks' boy in Green Mile.
Oh, the
big
bald
dude.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved him.
Yeah. So he plays this guy who's a spy who turned bad, like right that they have in their jail. Okay. And he's talking to him, and apparently this guy was selling weapons to other countries and shit. Right? Secretively. And he knew something about the attack. So he's arrested, and then he starts talking to Brad Pitt, and Brad like asking him like, what do you know? And the guy's like, yo, it moves like a plague, and nobody's asking the right questions. And Brad's like, what's the right question? And the guy goes, why is Israel winning? Why? They sealed off their country days before the attack. They built a wall, finished it right before the attack. Why? They were the first to know, and they were the first to act. And then Brad's like, man, that's Jerusalem. They've always built walls. And he's like, yeah, they have always built walls. But don't you think it's a little suspicious? 3 weeks before all this went down, they finished them? And Brad's like, and then the guy says the name of the guy who got the first memo. He's like, I know who got the first memo because he asked me for guns, whoop de whoop. And that's how I heard about this attack. That's who you need to talk to.
Okay.
This like head guy of the United Nations in Jerusalem. Okay? And so Brad's like, fuck. Well, we're going to Jerusalem, I guess. Because he's like, I got to figure this out. So he calls his wife.
It's crazy that Brad Pitt is just being contracted to get this guy in and out safely, and now he's taking it upon himself. Yeah.
Shit, sorry.
He's taking it upon himself to take care of the whole thing.
Of the whole world?
Of the whole world.
Yo, he's got long blonde hair. What's he supposed to do?
That's true. He does have long blonde hair. Don't touch that.
He's the hero the world really needs. So they're all like, fuck. He calls his wife right on the phone, but she don't answer.
Oh, no.
Okay? So the soldiers all get ready to go to leave. They give Brad and his crew all bicycles.
But
Like bicycles, so
like
they can ride back
pedaling
to the plane.
bicycles. Oh, okay.
And get there faster.
Like, are they
And
doing
he's
some
like,
Tour de
yeah.
France to Jerusalem?
He's like, you guys do that. He's like, we'll get my sniper boys on the roof to help you, and my other crew will go help fill up the gas tank while you guys get on the plane.
Okay.
All right. He's like, all right. Right then, the captain gives Brad like a little note thing. He's like, hey, give this to my mom. And Brad's like, man, he's like, trust me. Just give it to my mom, please. Mm-hmm. Oh, like, I'd really appreciate it. And Brad's like, I got you. Puts it in his pocket. So he tells the boys, like, hey, we got to get these boys on the plane. All right, any Zeeks, we put them on the ground. That's what they call the zombies. They call them Zeeks. Zeeks, we put them on the ground. Let's go, boys. We see Brad and his crew all get bikes. The soldiers take positions on the roof. They start pedaling out quietly. All right, it's raining hard. You just hear, they're riding, right? We see the wife in bed, and she looks at the phone. She sees she missed his call.
Oh, no.
She calls him back.
Oh, and it is a noise?
Bring, bring. Oh, shit. Somebody just woke up the Zeeks. You see all the Zeeks hearing they come into the phone call. Somebody cut that phone off. He cuts it off, and it's like, too late. Zeeks are on the ground, boys. Zeeks on the ground. Headshots only. Let's go. They start riding. All of them are riding fast and shitting out to the plane.
Whoa.
You see shots getting fired. As the fucking zombies are sprinting at them from all directions, right? Shots fired, shots fired. They're killing them. They finally get to the plane. As they're about to get it to the plane, one of them tackles Brad, one of the zombies. He's about to get Brad, and the captain saves him and gets bit.
No, this is the guy who gave him
the note.
Yeah.
Gets bit. Right? And Brad, the other soldiers grab Brad and they get him on the plane. As he's looking at the captain's looking around, and he's like, I can't believe it. I'm a goddamn Zeke. Right? You gotta be kidding me. And then you see one of the snipers has his scope on his captain, and he's all sad, and he goes, just say the word, Cap. I got you. And Captain goes, no, I got this one, boys. Shoots himself in the head.
Wow.
Crazy, yo. And Brad Pitt's just watching like, they get him on the plane.
Oh, my gosh.
It's only Brad and the pilot now on the plane because another guy goes, because they can't get off, and another guy goes, man, this Israel shit better work. And one of the SEALs has to sacrifice himself to go get the plane out.
Wow.
And he dies. Plane takes off. They make it out. All right. So the next morning, he calls his wife. She's like, Jerry, oh my God. She's like, I tried calling you last night. He goes, I know you did. He's like, let's just say it was bad timing. He was like, I was running around. She goes, were you okay? He goes, yeah, everything's okay. And she goes, that's the spirit. He goes, listen, honey, Korea didn't work out. I got to go to Israel. She goes, okay, well, get some rest. He goes, how are the kids? And she looks at him, and the kids are like, just tight, like asleep. Yeah. And she's just like, they're good. They're good. Right then, right next to Brad, him and the pilot, they look down, and on the ground, they see a huge explosion. Signal cuts out. The wife just starts crying. So Brad, he gets to Israel. They call permission to land. The United Nations sets it up so they can land, right? Mm-hmm. He tells the pilot, stay with the plane. I won't be long. Be ready to roll at any instant. Mm-hmm. Pilot's like, cool. Pilot fuels the plane back up. He goes, I'll be back before dark. He gets in a car with like these soldiers from Israel. One of them's this bald head girl. Like the camera focuses on her, so you notice her.
Is it Natalie Portman?
No.
Okay.
Just an actress. You don't know her.
Okay.
They get in the car. They head to this guy. He's talking to this Jewish dude who the guy told him to go talk to, who apparently knew everything, who got the wall done and all these things right before it all happened. Mm-hmm. And he tells Brad's like, how'd you know about all this? And the guy goes, man, people don't want to believe things until they happen, but that's human nature. That's just how that works. And Brad's like, how did Israel know? He said, we intercepted a communication from Korea saying something about how they were fighting Mishkula. Mishkula means zombie in that word. Yeah. Okay. And he goes, technically, they were saying they were fighting the undead. He goes, so you build a wall? He goes, so you guys knew apparently to build a wall right before all this happened? He goes, I'd be skeptical too. He goes, but in the 30s, the Jews did not believe in concentration camps, believed that'd be impossible. Yeah. You know? He goes, so what we did was we invented the rule of the 10th man. And he goes, what's that? He goes, where if 9 of the top tribe or top council agree on something, it is the job of the 10th man to do the research on the other side to convince them otherwise, maybe. And if that person can't, like, just in case.
Okay.
So because they don't want to ever be so absolute on anything ever again.
Yeah.
Because of what happened.
Because anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And then Brad looks at him. He goes, and you were the 10th man. He goes, just fate would have it. I was the 10th man.
Wow.
And I found out everything that was going on, and I convinced everybody to build the gates and the walls and all this shit, right? And then he's taking Brad around, and he's showing him the walls. The walls are these huge walls and like these crazy cool tunnels to get in. And then Brad's like, you guys are still letting people in? He goes, of course. It's the way of God, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, also, every soul we save is one less zombie we have to fight in the future.
Ooh, good point.
So you see all these crazy tunnels and like zombies on the outside trying to get to him through these cages, but you can't because the tunnels are built like that, so people are able to get in.
Yeah.
Like if they're not infected. All right. So they're like, wow. So we see people all inside the wall, like they just got in, and they're all praying and singing. And there's microphones, and people are praying and singing. And it's really loud because we're talking thousands upon thousands of people praying and singing. The zombies outside the wall all start kind of coming towards one area of the wall. And they start piling up a little bit. Okay? Brad and homeboy keep talking. And Brad goes, well, what do I do? He's like, I got to get to, he's like, where does it all start? I guess I got to get to, they found a patient, 0 maybe in India. And then he's like, so I guess, can you get me he's like, can you help me get with can you give me some help in India to help solve this? And the doctor goes, forget about patient 0. The Jerusalem guy. He goes, forget about that. He goes, that's over with. And then Brad's like, I can't. It's too late for me to build a wall around our country. It's already inside. We got to get to patient 0. We got to cure this. I need answers.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, there is no answers. Just try to find a way to hide. And Brad's like, that's not good enough. And then right then people keep singing. It gets louder and louder. And he sees soldiers start running to the wall. And all the soldiers are on their walkies. And people, all the helicopters are now in this one area. And outside the wall, the fucking zombies are all sprinting crazy fast,
together,
stacking up on each other.
Whoa!
And then Brad
They're
looks,
strategizing,
and he looks, and he's like, man, it's really loud.
Yeah.
And you see all the people singing this song, all the people of Jerusalem, they're all singing the song on microphones. And bro, they get to the top of the wall, and Brad's like, you gotta get everybody quiet, get everyone quiet, they're coming over. And then right then, they just start flooding over the wall.
Whoa!
Brad sees it all kind of happen in slow motion. They start biting and turning like crazy, one by one, as they're coming to the wall. And then you see all of Jerusalem just start turning.
And they're all trapped inside.
They're all trapped inside. Crazy. So the guy tells Brad, you got to get your soldiers to the plane. Get this guy to a plane. Go, go. So all the zombies are running at him, right? And he's like, and as Brad's running away, he turns. And when he turns in slow motion, he sees all the zombies running past this old man who's just in the middle kind of looking at him as they're attacking everyone else, but they're all running by this old man. Okay?
Yeah. So they're avoiding people who can't run? Because the guy with the limp didn't get hit either.
Mm-hmm. So they keep running. Zombies everywhere. Zombies are jumping on them, trying to get him. You see soldiers getting fucked up that are trying to protect Brad. One of them has to use a grenade to kill a bunch of them, and he kills himself. Like it's just crazy. It's just pure chaos. They're running. The pilot gets informed that they're coming, right? He's like, hey, start the plane. We're sending a chopper to pick up Brad, and we're going to bring him to you. Okay? Jerry. So you see, the motherfuckers are coming like swarms of insects, bro. They're just like, because they're moving so fast that they're moving like through the city like that. All right? And Brad looks over and he sees this bald kid, and they all kind of split around this bald kid. And Brad's like, he's just kind of noticing all this in slow motion as he's running. Like, what the fuck? You know? So they're running. Remember the bald head girl I told you about that was protecting him?
Yes.
She's still with him. A zombie looks like it's about to get Brad, and she stops at last second and she kills him. But when she kills him and shoots him, it falls and kind of like bites her arm. Ooh. And everything goes quiet. And she's like looking at her arm, and it's all quiet. And Brad looks down, he grabs a machete that's on the ground.
Cuts her arm off.
Boom, cuts her arm off.
Smart.
She's like, ah, and all this, like you just see her yelling, but the sound's out. And you see Brad's mouth. 1, 2, 3. And he's bandaging up her arm. 5, 7, 9, 10. She's like, ah. 11, 12. And he looks at her and she's like, he's like, you didn't turn. You're going to live. You're going to live, all right? We got to move. He picks her up. Now they're going. And she's just like full panic mode, arm gone.
I have no arm.
Right? So I told you, it's like the movie still just started, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's so much all at once.
They run to the chopper. They're about to get on it.
Mm-hmm.
Zombies attack the chopper from the other side. The chopper goes up. They don't get on it. It fucking spirals out of control.
Yeah.
Crashes.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It gets back to his pilot. That the chopper that was going to get him crashed. The pilot takes off.
And leaves them?
Leaves him. So you see Brad and the girl running with the one arm and the other soldiers, and he sees his plane. And he's like, no, no. Right then he looks. There's another plane about to take off. It's like, come on. They run up, and him and like the 4 other soldiers, they have their guns on the plane, and they stop the plane. But this is just a regular plane, like a Southwest.
Yeah.
Right? So it's regular people inside screaming and shit. They get Brad and the one-armed girl on the plane. Plane goes to take off. It takes off, right? So you see Brad and the girl, they're sitting down. Everybody on the plane is just screaming. Full panic. Brad and the girl are sitting down. He grabs first aid, right? It's quiet as fuck on the plane. They're sitting there. And then Brad, he looks at the first aid kit. He opens it up, and then he grabs like a bunch of the little vodkas. And he takes the bandages off the girl, and he gives her some. He's like, what's your name? She's like, Sagan. Segan. Like Sagan. He's like, all right. He's like, I need you to gut up for me, all right? Take this. And she drinks it. He's like, gut up. Gut the fuck up, all right? You're a soldier. And she's like, and he takes the bandage off, and he pours all the alcohol on her arm. He's like, come on, you can do this. Come on, one last thing.
Did he give her some to drink at least?
Yeah, she drank it already. And now she's just like, and then he's like, one more. And then he cleans it all up, and then he bandages it up, and he's like, here you go. You earned this. And then she drinks another one, and she kind of passes out.
Yeah.
And he just sits there, and he's like, fuck, right? And then she looks at him, and she's about to pass out. Right before she passes out, she looks at him, and she goes, are you a doctor? And he goes, no. And he goes, just had some training in the field. She goes, cutting it off. How'd you know it would work? And he goes, I didn't. And she's like, I'm just a liability now. Just a liability the rest of my life. And he looks at her, and he starts thinking. And he thinks about the guy with the bad leg.
Yeah.
And then he thinks about the zombies who ran by the old guy. And then he hears the doctor's voice. The hot pot is seeing the crumbs, the clues that she lays down in front of you. A lot of times her biggest weakness is her weakness is in her biggest strength. Like, and he hears this, right? And then he sees the bald kid getting split, like as they run like around the bald kid. And he hears the Jerusalem guy go, there is no answer. Just need to find a way to hide. And he goes, and he grabs Sagan and he kisses her on the forehead and he runs and he calls his wife. And his wife's like, Jerry. He's like, honey, I can't talk right now. Put Terry on the phone. And she's like, okay. She puts Terry on the phone and he's like, Gary, you're alive. He's like, hey, quick. I need the closest airport and the closest CDC or a WHO facility now. Like whichever one is closest. And he's like, Jerry, I don't know where you are. So he runs up to the cabin. He starts banging on the cabin door. And the pilots don't answer. And he keeps banging. And he holds up like a phone, like to the camera. And then finally one of them opens and he's like, I need you to take this. And the pilot snatches the phone and slams the door. Some time passes. He opens up the door again. And he goes, the battery died, but I talked to them. They told me who you are. He goes, he says, I forget where he says they are. And he goes, but next to that airport is a WHO facility. I'll get you there.
Okay.
And then he closes the door and Brad's like, thank you. So, time passes. The captain is now going. We finally get to our airport, our destination. He's saying this on the intercom to everybody. And there's this little dog that keeps barking next to Brad. He notices it, right? The captain says, we're all lucky. We're about to land. We'll be landing in like 20 minutes. We're on our descent. We should all thank God that we're still here. You see one of the woman waitresses, plane waitresses, she hits like those little elevator buttons that come up. Like on some real big planes, like there's little elevators. Like they can get from, so you don't have to take the stairs. Have you ever been on a plane like that?
No.
Some planes are double deckers.
No, I've never been on a plane that big.
It's like that, right? So she hits the up button and it comes up and it opens and a fucking zombie busts out.
Of course. That's why the dog's barking.
Brad wakes up and he looks around and the cabin he's in, like with the little curtain, it's fine.
Oh, no. So the whole other cabin's going to get infested.
And he's kind of looking around and he thinks he hears something, right? And then you see the plane waitress, she bites somebody else, who bites somebody else, who bites somebody else. And you start hearing it get louder and louder. And then Brad kind of looks behind the curtain and in slow motion, he sees everybody turning and biting each other.
Yeah.
And he turns around. He's like, and then everybody else in his cabin starts to notice and scream. He goes, shh, shh, to everybody. And they're all quiet. He goes, and he grabs the luggage from the top bin and he starts stacking it in front of the curtains. And everybody else like starts doing it too, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's doing it. They get it all stacked up. And Brad looks and it's getting worse and worse where everybody's turning on the other side. And one of the suitcases falls. And they all start running and they bust at the thing, right?
Yeah.
And so now they're all busting through the suitcases and they're trying to bite people in his cabin and they start biting one by one. The fucking Sagan girl pulls out her gun, bam, shoots one, shoots another, and she looks at Brad and Brad's looking at her and they're watching in slow motion as everybody's getting turned.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, fuck. Right? The captain's watching from the security plane, you know, like the security footage on the plane. Brad looks at Sagan and he notices on her belt is a hand grenade. He grabs it, throws it. Grabs the gun, they duck down, everybody gets sucked off the plane.
Yeah,
they're
but
holding on. Wait, what?
how are they gonna get out of there? They're in the middle of the air.
Oh.
You didn't think this through.
I mean, it was their only option.
I guess so. He doesn't even have any like parachutes yet.
Nope. So him and Sagan, it's like everybody's getting sucked out. They kind of crawl back to their seats and they buckle back up, right? The captain's like, we're going down. Mayday, mayday, emergency descent, emergency descent. They start going down faster and faster. Brad looks at his homegirl, right? A zombie runs up like to bite him. And now Brad's holding off a zombie that like flew, like he's trying to bite him like this. Bam, they crash land.
Nice.
Okay?
And they survive.
It goes to black. Brad comes to. He's dangling like over the ground in his seat. There's blood dripping like off his head onto the ground. He's like high up too.
Yeah.
And he's looking down. He looks over. Sagan's not in her seat. He looks down. A piece of the plane went through his body.
Oh.
Completely went through. He fucking undoes his seatbelt and falls. Ah, shit. He tries to pull it out. He can't. He's like, gotta move. Gotta move. He gets up. He starts to start walking. He sees Sagan.
She's alive.
She's alive.
Because they don't want to eat her. She's got...
Well, no, she just made it alive from the class.
She just survived.
There's nobody around them.
Okay.
They're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing near them.
Okay.
So they start walking. Right? They go through this little town. You see people peeking through their windows and like locking their doors and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to the WHO research facility, like the World Health Organization.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they get there. Huge security gates. Brad passes out right in front. The girl's ringing the bell, knocking on the door. Okay?
With her other arm.
Mm-hmm. The colonel and Terry find out Brad Pitt's plane went down that he was on. He's presumed dead. They tell the wife. The wife tells Terry, please, you got to let my family stay. Terry begs the colonel, like, please, come on. Like, these are more than, like, they're friends. I know them. The colonel's like, no, hell no. Which I get. The colonel's like, yeah, I mean.
Are you saying colonel?
The colonel.
Okay.
COLONEL. That's how I say colonel.
Yeah, but isn't it pronounced
Colonel? Yeah.
Okay. I
don't know. I like to say
colonel. Were you waiting for me to question that? Or is that something you just do?
I'm a fucking idiot, and I like to say the words that I like to say, how I like to say them.
Okay.
So she kicks him off the plane. You see the wife staring at the black dude so pissed as they get flown off on a helicopter. All right, so now they're off the ship. Brad wakes up in a gurney in the WHO facility. Mm-hmm. He sees these two doctors looking at him like they're clearly doctors.
Yeah.
The shit is gone from his side. Right? It's not on his side anymore. And this white dude's like, you're a lucky bastard to be alive. And then Brad's like, who are you? He goes, Brad's like, I came with a woman. And then the other doctor goes, who are you? Why'd you come here? And Brad he's not looking at the guy talking to him. He's looking at the other guy, the brown guy. Uh-huh. And the guy's like, who are you? Do you not hear me talking to you? Sir, look at me. He's like, why aren't you looking at me? And then he goes, I'm looking at the guy in charge. Because he's not, so there's a guy in the back clearly watching him.
Yeah.
And then Brad's like, all right. The guy holds up Brad's phone. And Brad's like, give me that. How long have I been out? And they're like, you've been out 3 days. Give me that phone. I need to call somebody, please. And they go, who are you? He goes, just call the number on it. Just call the number on it. They'll tell you who I am. So right then they call the number on it, and Terry answers.
Yeah.
He's like, hello? And he's like, Terry, it's Jerry. And he goes, Jerry, oh my God, you're alive. He goes, I'm here. He goes, we thought you were dead. And Terry's like, tell him. He's like, Terry, tell him who I am. Terry's like, yo, this is the General of the United Nations. This is the guy who works for me. Whoop, whoop. And the doctors are like, okay, cool. And then he goes, Brad Pitt goes, Terry, why didn't Karen answer? Karen's supposed to have that phone.
Oh.
He goes, I'm sorry, Jerry. I did what I could. What does that mean? What do you mean you did what I could? And then it cuts.
Yeah.
All right. Cut to you see Brad. He's tying his shoes up like he's finna go somewhere. Like, fuck this. I gotta go. His family is apparently sent to a refugee camp in Nova Scotia.
That seems like a good place. Nova Scotia's pretty far away from everything.
I say I would hope that they sent my family to Wayne, Maine.
I mean, Nova Scotia is not far from Wayne, Maine.
Exactly.
It's
I'm sure it looks just like this.
It's north of.
So that all, you know what I'm saying? That all happens, and Brad's like, fuck, I got to get to him. And then one of the doctors goes, your family will be safe there. And he goes, I know what I've been out in the field. I know they're not safe. Do you have any family? Do you understand? And the guy goes, I understand what you're going through. He goes, do you have a family? And the guy goes, no. And he goes, then you don't understand what I'm going through. And then the guy goes, I lost my family in Rome. At least what was my family before they turned into those things. Mm-hmm. And then Brad's like, I'm sorry. He goes, we've all lost someone, Mr. Lang. It's also crazy of Brad to not assume that.
Oh, everyone's losing people.
Even if you don't have a family, you lost all your friends and like your uncles and your cousins. Like, even if you don't have kids yourself, you lost people.
You lost people.
And they're like, why did you come here? What do you need from us? And he tells the doctors, I need a deadly pathogen that we've cured. Like, I need a virus that we've had, like smallpox or polio, like shit like that we've cured that used to kill people.
Okay.
Smallpox, Spanish flu, I need whatever. I need something that we've cured that, like, I need a pathogen like that. And they're like, why? And he's like, I believe it can help us. And they go, trust me, doctor, we've already tried that. It's like, they're like, they go, we've already tried that. It doesn't work on them. It didn't change them. He goes, it's not for them. It's for us. And they go, what do you mean? He goes, these things have a weakness, and that weakness is our weakness. I've seen them literally bypass people. And I think the people that they bypass are terminally ill. They can sense it. They need a healthy host. And then they go, but that's not a cure. He goes, I know it's not a cure. It's camouflage. And they're all like, oh, shit. And then one of the doctors is like, it's like a hungry predator. A hungry predator will always avoid a deceased body that's sick. Yeah. Like, because it knows not to, like, that'll kill itself. And then they look and they have a zombie locked up, right? And they go, well, the only way to prove it is for us to take a injection and then you go visit this little young lady right here. And there's a zombie in like a glass thing, like, oh, jeez. Right? And then, so he goes, all right, well, there's only one problem. And they go, what? We have all the diseases in the world you'll ever need, but they're all stored in B Wing. And they go, where was B Wing? And then they show a tape of a doctor who was in B Wing who got bit.
And he's still in B Wing.
And everyone in B Wing is now a zombie. And Brad goes, how many people are in B Wing? And they go, 80. All turned. We're the only ones. And so he's like, okay. And they looking at the cameras and they're all like just standing there dormant. He goes, I've never seen a move like that. And he goes, they're awaiting stimulus. They need something to get them going.
Oh, like sound.
Sound, noise, anything.
Yeah.
So they show him the sky bridge, how to get there, and they show him the room where all the diseases are. And they go, so what do you propose we do, Mr. Lang? And then you see Brad Pitt start taping pads all around his arms and his legs. Yeah. Like, we're going to go. And you see one of the other doctors do it, and then our girl does it with the one arm. And they're like, all right, we're going to do this. So they get a bat, an axe, and then a gun for last resort. Mm-hmm. Try not to kill him. It makes the rest of them more aggressive. That's one of the doctors says. He goes, let's go. And then the doctor who's going with him looks back and goes, if anyone else comes down this hall before us, these doors seal for good. They're like, got it. They lock up the doors. They watch the three walk off. It's the doctor, the Sangha girl, and your brother died?
Down, yeah,
Jesus. And our boy Brad. Brad has the axe, and he's creeping down the hallway, right, through the facility. And he's all quiet. He's all nervous. And he accidentally kicks a soda on the ground. They all freeze. You see the other doctors watching from the security cameras, watching them go. And they're all scared. They hit another lab on a different side of the building, right? All the lights cut on. They see blood everywhere. They keep moving.
Gross.
They have to crawl. So they see the zombies right here, but there's like a little like thing that they can crawl under to get past. So they all go one by one, right? And they all get through just fine. They get to a hallway. A zombie walks out and they hide. But they open a door like to go hide in this door, but the door goes like that. Yeah. And so Brad has to put his axe in between it so it doesn't close and doesn't make the noise. So they all keep going, but now he doesn't have the axe. Okay. All right. So they're all going. They get to like this hallway. The doctor's holding a crowbar and he's backing up. And as he backs up, the crowbar, bong, hits the pole. They all start, and then one of the zombies starts running at him. Same guy has to shoot it in the head. And then like you see the footage that the doctors are watching, and every zombie is running towards them now. And they're like, all right, go, go, go. So they're fucking running. They take off. Brad Pitt goes, you guys get to the vault. I'll take him. And he makes a bunch of noise as they go running that way. So all the zombies follow Brad.
Yeah.
So Brad's running and running. He gets through a door that seals and only one of the zombies gets through and he fucking kills that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then another zombie comes at him and he kills that one. And then you see like it fucks up his stitches, but he's able to take off down the hallway. All right. So now Brad's running down the hallway, right?
But he's bleeding.
He's bleeding. You see the vault of the other two. Mm-hmm. They get to the vault that they're looking for, Vault 139. They're going towards it. Right as they're about to go towards it, another wave of zombies starts coming at them. So they take off running. They start heading back to where they started, Senga and the doctor.
Yeah.
And then the guys are watching a security cam and they're like, fuck, they're heading back this way. And the doctor's like, we got to let them in. And then one of the guys is like, we can't. He said, if they're getting chased, don't let them in. He said, well, we have to do something. We can't let them die. Yeah. So they run to the door and then you see them running down the hallway. Open it up. Open it up. Senga and the doctor dive in. They open the door for him and then they slam it, right?
Yeah.
And then they fucking tie it. They seal the door back up. Uh-huh. One of the doctors, the girl, is still looking at the security cameras. And she's like, Jerry, where are you? You see Jerry running. He runs. He sees the Vault 139.
Yeah.
He looks around and there's nobody around. So he goes in. Uh-huh. He goes in and he sees the vault. He can't get in it, right? So he's about to smash the window with his, like to the, like it has one of those, like those kind of doors. Uh-huh. So he's about to smash the window with the crowbar and then the phone rings. And he like looks over and he answers it. And it's the girl watching the security cameras. And she's like, 5694, 5694. That's the code. That's the code. And he's like, thanks. He hangs up, puts in the code. It opens, right? He sets his crowbar down.
Don't set your weapon down.
He goes in. The door closes behind him.
There's something in there.
He goes and he starts looking at no, it's a small room. You can see everything that's in it.
Okay.
He goes, because it's like they keep all the world's diseases in this room.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's the vault.
Yeah, so they definitely wouldn't want anything in there. And so he opens it up and like, it doesn't just say like Spanish flu on it. It says like
numbers
X9, YZ, COVID-19 shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's only like we know
The
COVID-19 because it went famous, but we don't know the scientific name
Yeah.
of other diseases. So it's all those. And he looks at it and he looks at the camera and he's like, he doesn't know. So he just fills up a tube with all the diseases. Like he fills up a thing, right?
Yeah.
And he turns to walk out and there's a zombie right by the door. Just banging its head on the door. And Brad's like, fuck. He can't get out. So he looks back at the diseases. He looks down, and he's like,
I'll take one.
He's just looking at it, right? Cuts back to the security camera. What?
Never mind. I don't know what I was going to say.
It cuts back to the security camera.
I'm stressed.
The doctors are watching, and they go, oh, shit, he's going to have to inject himself. And then one of them goes, well, if he injects himself with anything he grabbed from that left cabinet, it doesn't matter. He'll be dead in a second. And because it's like some of those are like immediate like diseases that you ain't gonna survive. Period.
Yeah.
Whereas he needs something that like an older disease that's already been cured.
And it's not as lethal. Like it'll kill you over a slower period of time, a longer period of time.
Rather than taking something that'll kill him pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's looking because it's like cancers in there and shit.
Uh-huh.
And so you see Brad look at the camera and the back of the zombie. And then he writes on a pad. You see him write something. Then he holds it up to the camera. And it says, tell my family I love them. Oh. And they're all like, he takes a syringe. He looks at all the things. And he grabs one. Fucking gets it out. Sticks it in his arm. And then sits back and wait. And all the doctors are like, well, how long till it like kicks in his body? And they go, it'll kick in immediately. Will it work is the question. Because he's like, yo, whatever he just injected himself with, he's got it.
Yeah.
Like, that's in him now. So he's sitting, you see Brad, he just sits and he waits and he stares at the door. The zombie keeps banging on the door. And then Brad finally keeps staring at it and he finally stands up. He walks up to it. Opens it. The zombie goes, right in his face. Uh-huh. Kind of bites like that around him and then just walks by him.
Whoa.
And Brad grabs the other diseases. He backs out the door. He closes it, locking the zombie in. The doctors are all crying and hugging each other, and they're like, holy shit, it walked past him. It walked right past him. Brad stops in the hallway at the vending machine. He opens up the vending machine, like gets it all the way, and just drinks him a soda and just sits there. Like, just to, like, you can tell he's like, nigga, it's like a grape soda, and it's like, I know bullshit. It looks like, I don't know if it, I mean, it's acting for sure. It looks like the greatest grape soda any person could ever drink.
Yeah.
Like, the look on his face is like, just, and like, like, man, that is a good grape soda. And grape soda's already fire.
Yeah.
You like grape soda? Out of all the colored soda.
Colored soda?
Because, you know, there's orange, there's grape, there's red.
I'm not really a colored soda fan.
You like a nice dark or a clear, like a nice Sprite or a nice Coke?
The clear. I like, or like cream soda. I like cream soda.
I like a good cream red soda.
But yeah. Pepsi used to do like a cherry vanilla. I like that.
Ooh.
But no, I'm not like a orange soda. You're not an orange soda person.
I mean, if somebody has it, I'll drink it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Out of the colors, though, I would say grape is the best.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, red cream soda is fucking fire, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But grape's good too. So this nigga enjoys the greatest grape soda of all time.
He earned it.
Sam, he fucking earned it, did he not?
I mean, he's been to like 3 different countries in the last
2 days. Good boy, the last movie. So Brad, he hits a little button and all the sodas fall. Mm-hmm. So it makes a lot of noise. And then you see all the zombies running at him full speed. And he grabs his little diseases and a little smile on his face and he just walks right through them. Uh-huh. So he gets to the doctors. They give him another shot, curing him of whatever disease he gave himself. Uh-huh. Clearly he's fine.
Yeah.
And him and Sangha leave. They get to Freeport, Nova Scotia. And you see Brad's family waiting on a dock for him. Voiceover is Brad. This isn't the end. Not even close. We've lost entire cities, and we still don't know how it started. We see the world taking the camouflage vaccine, right? But we bought ourselves some time, and it gives us a chance. And you see people now, like time, and people are fighting back.
Yeah.
Like, because now people have the thing, and they're like,
oh, we can kill them
they're
without
killing the zombies.
them killing us.
People are just murdering. I mean, it would be the kind of world you want to live in, like as far as like you're living in a video game. Mm-hmm. Because now you don't have to worry about them doing anything to you. You can just kill them for like. Yeah,
but now you have a whole generation of people that are like bloodthirsty,
murderers.
warmonger, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's either that or there's no world at all.
That's true. I'm just saying it's not ideal.
It's not like going to Build-A-Bear or something.
No,
fun.
this isn't exactly what it was.
So, back to the voiceover. If you can fight, fight. Help each other. Be prepared for anything. Our war has just begun. Dun 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 dun. World War Z.
Whoa.
There's supposed to be like 2 or more of these.
Really?
There's books.
I know that there's books.
Apparently the books are incredible too, and they go deep more into the actual virus. Because this is clearly just an action movie.
Yes.
But I'd love to see the deepness of the virus and like how they have to handle it and apparently it
world
goes on
building.
for like this world, like the world that they live in, like keeps going.
Yeah.
And their problems keep arising. So I would love to see that world. But Brad Pitt carries this movie. They don't need another big lead in it because you have the zombies and you have Brad. It's like I Am Legend. It's like, oh, you don't need anyone else.
Yeah, let him do it all.
Let him. You got zombies and you got this kind of lead. You don't need anything else.
He's great.
What'd you think?
Oh my God, this whole movie made me feel like I was in do you ever play that game Left 4 Dead?
No, but I know of zombie games like that where the adrenaline rush is so high.
That's because I'm not a good video game person. I've never really enjoyed video games while my brothers play video games. But Left 4 Dead is one that like anyone can play because the whole concept is kill zombies and survive to get to the point you need to get to in the game, and that's it.
Those games are fucking scary, bro.
Oh my gosh, because you're like freaking out, like, oh gosh, I don't want to lose.
And it always starts off easy where the zombies are like only coming 1 at a time.
Yeah,
and then they start coming 10 at a time.
It's like a bunch of them, and you're supposed to be working together with your team, but I'm bad at that.
And you have limited ammo.
Yeah.
And I'm bad at that.
I got to go find other guns from places.
Yeah, the Call of Duty had a zombie mode, and I always loved playing that.
I didn't know they had a zombie mode.
Not only zombies, but Nazi zombies.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Pretty fun.
Cool.
Gives you a double reason to kill them.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard to think about zombies like they want to kill people, but they specifically want to kill Jews.
Most likely.
Like those zombies?
Yeah, it's like, oh man, these zombies. It is funny to have a zombie who's like still like talking about how, you know, the media is all run by Jewish people
Yeah.
and they all have gold on them. And it's like, aren't you a zombie? And he's like, oh, yeah. And then he bites you.
If they made a movie about that, they'd still cast Brad Pitt in it. It'd be like Inglourious Basterds.
Glorious Bastards. Our whole mission is to kill Nazis. Zombies.
Zombie Nazis.
Zombie Nazis. This movie's fire, though, bro. I remember seeing this shit in the theater, and it blew my mind. It was fucking good. Just because it never stops, and I love a movie like that. If you're going to be an action movie like that, like, I don't need a love scene. I don't need a fucking goodbye scene. You know any of that shit? Like,
yeah, just get right into it.
just
like,
let's go.
What is it, 28 days later?
Yep, 28 weeks later.
28 weeks later.
Let's go, bro. What are we fucking playing for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love a movie like that. But this movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah, this was awesome. What's the movie that I was thinking of with Tom Cruise?
War of the Worlds.
Okay, that's why, because they sound so similar. I'm like, why? I know that there's two movies, and I'm not.
If I had to pick, I'd say War of the Worlds is better.
Really? It's a better movie?
Yeah, have you seen it?
I thought it was a terrible movie.
It's really good. What?
I just felt like I didn't understand why these giant robots were coming out of the ground. Like
they were already there. The machines were already
Exactly.
there. They just placed the aliens to come back.
I
love
get that. I get that. But the movie is more of an action movie and not talking about like the aliens themselves as much, which is what I would be more interested in that.
Yeah.
It's more just like, hey, Tom Cruise, he's a good dad.
And
And
then-
now he's fighting.
I always thought the ending sucked. That was the only thing I didn't like.
Yeah, doesn't he? He's like captured inside of one at some point.
No, that's awesome. No, it ends with the aliens get exposed to our air, and then our flu, our common flu, our common cold, our common cough kills them
It
immediately.
just kills him like that. Crazy.
And it's like and it just ends like that, and you're like, oh, well, that's kind of fucking weak sauce.
It makes sense though.
It does make sense, but you're like, damn, after all this action, this is how we end this?
Yeah.
Whereas at least this, it's like, all right, that's cool. I can get with this ending. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm curious to see what they do with the next one.
Yeah, because they don't have to, I guess, cast Brad Pitt if he doesn't want to do it.
If he doesn't want to do it, you can just have a different
Just
storyline.
have a different storyline in the same universe.
Mm-hmm. But apparently Brad's going to be in it because
Nice.
I think this is his movie. I think he owned a lot of this. It did like $500 million in the box office.
Nice, Brad.
This movie destroyed the box office.
Killing it.
God, when does he not, huh?
When does he not? I can't think of the last movie Brad Pitt did that I was
Sucked?
like, that's not a good movie.
Damn, he might be. His track record's pretty fucking perfect too, bro. He has a spotless track record.
Well, I think in the beginning he was doing a lot of like little roles, and we don't ever hear about them because he, in our mind, is always a leading man.
That's true.
But
That's
yeah,
true. Well, Sam, this was fun.
this was fun.
I fucking enjoyed this one with you. I do love you. Hope you know that.
I love you too.
I don't say that to any of my guests,
Thank you.
but I'm gonna start.
Okay, everyone.
Yep.
Okay.
So enjoy it while it's the special first one.
Thanks.
I
I'm
love you, Sam.
special. I love you too.
I'll see you in a couple days.
I'll see you in a couple days. Hopefully, there will not be any zombie attacks between then and now.
Let's hope, Bean Gang. We're out.